Hello and welcome to Sharp Talk, the show by washed up athletes for washed up athletes looking to be their best self. On today's episode, the brothers and I were scheduled to have a guest, but things didn't quite work out. So we sat down at the last minute, decided to do a little Q&A session fueled by ChatGPT. So we had some random questions generated for us to answer. Some of it just random and funny, some of it deep, some of it based on our past experiences. So just a fun blend of some different things. So maybe you'll learn something from some stuff we've gone through or some of our opinions. And if nothing else, maybe you'll learn a little bit more about us. So thanks for tuning in and hopefully you enjoy. Before we get rolling with today's episode, I want to take a minute to tell you about Sharp Training. Snyder Health, Recovery, and Performance Training is designed for former college athletes to improve their physical, mental, and spiritual health. For only $12 a month, you can choose a training plan that is catered to your needs, interests, and goals, with new programs delivered each month through the TeamBuilder app. You'll also receive 24/7 messaging and feedback from coaches, access to an exclusive Discord to continually learn and be encouraged by others, a 20% discount on Thorne supplements, and access to the Sharp Edge, the ultimate guide to upgrading your diet, sleep, and life. Iron sharpens iron, so let us help you become your sharpest self. Now let's go.
I've been itching to golf. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude,
I can't
been watching more golf now that football is done.
Like this course is just beautiful. I just freaking want to play it so bad.
Did you see that new QI35? That thing is sexy. That driver.
What is that?
TaylorMade's new driver. I love the look of it.
I need new clubs, but they're so expensive.
Yes, they are.
What are you eyeing?
I want everything new except my putter.
Have you gotten new irons yet? I feel like you've been saying you want new irons for the longest time.
That's what I would get if I had to just choose one thing.
Did you get blades?
Yeah.
Mizuno or what?
Something like that. I would just try to get fitted. It's just hard though. Like, it's hard to know if the person that's fitting you is actually good at what they do.
Right. You got to do your research. Get Kraft. Does he fit? Probably doesn't.
I should talk to him before I get fit. You know what I mean?
So yeah, he probably knows who to hook you up with.
Well, I could talk to Mason too, Jensen, who owns the Harvester. That's probably a better on the nicest golf course in Iowa.
Yeah, I'm ready to get good at golf again. That would be cool.
I'm trying to putt every day, bro. I want to putt. I'm sick of being bad at putting. I'm over it. I'm so sick of not being able to make putts. Done.
It's the last thing I care about. If the rest of my game is good and my putting sucks, I'm a happy guy.
I was there too, but I don't know if it's just. I'll ask you in 2 years. See if it's just an age thing or if it's just a mindset. Because I was that way too, but now I'm like, I play all these courses and I freaking hard courses and I can't. Putting so hard, and I watch people just. I watch a guy like John Underberg or whatever just freaking roll in like. God, trying to score, dude.
Feel that it's part of the game. Can't be overlooked.
And I just I think if I had better clubs, if I had new clubs, I think I would be more intrigued into how I would consistently hit the ball. But I'm just like, I know there's so much better out there. I just don't have it. So it's just like, I've got a dent in my driver. So,
I mean, I think if you have clubs within the last 5 years, they're pretty similar. But if you haven't gotten clubs in the last 20, I think there's quite a difference.
Mine are from 99, bro.
Yeah.
My irons are from 99.
It's not ideal.
No. And they're still great clubs, but I just can't even imagine. Like, there's got to be some consistency improvement.
Have you even hit newer irons? Like
never.
Yeah, you probably don't even know what a good iron feels like.
No idea.
All right. I got some pulled up for context for people listening. We had a guest plan. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out. Some stuff came up, so we'll reschedule for a later date for that. So This is just three guys just winging it on a Friday afternoon, so
Got
we're
the
just
club going up on a Friday. Chad
doing a little.
GPT spitting out bars on a Friday.
It's a beautiful thing. You need a Q&A. You don't have time to ask anyone out there, so you just ask Chat GPT to generate some questions. So I haven't really looked these over, so we're just we're gonna do a little Q&A, and hopefully some people can learn some more about us. And I don't know, we're just gonna kind of see where it goes. Okay, question one: what's the ideal pregame meal for you, or what was the ideal pregame meal?
I get this question a lot. Like I always thought, I think for me, I you always think about pasta, right? You always think about like carbs, right? Is one thing that at least somewhere in the pregame conversation growing up, like spaghetti suppers or whatever, was certainly in the discussion for me. But then like I never felt good. The digestion process, I think, is just takes too long for some of those more complex carbs. My terminology could be way off. I'm not the scientist of the group, so I felt like it was too dense, and I felt very like basketball games specifically. More than football. Football is more like you just got to get up and go. But like basketball, it's more about like really focus because like you really got to find the rim and like you really got to. And I felt like when I ate pasta, it just didn't do it for me. Like I just felt groggy and couldn't do it. So it got a lot simpler, simple things like a ham and cheese sandwich. Barbecue was like, or sloppy joes was a big one that we ate, which is literally just, just some ground beef like that. That became more of what I would eat pregame, and it felt easier to digest. Felt like it gave me at least what I needed, just a little bit of energy, and the rest was up to me. So, what about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Obviously, in like high school, I wasn't really cooking for myself, so I would say barbecue was definitely a staple, and then whatever fruit we probably had at the time.
When we say barbecue, we say sloppy Joe. For some reason, that was what we called it in our house. But
Yeah,
or
It's still
whatever you call it,
barbecue, though.
tavern or
It's not
Tavern.
sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe's just gross. What a weird phrase.
it is weird, but for the
Right.
people.
I get it.
As I got into college, it was more. I mean, games were sooner, right? So it's first meal of the day. So
Yeah.
definitely more like eggs, maybe oatmeal, some easy carbs, not a lot of fiber, something to feel full, but not necessarily feel like bulky or have a ton of stuff in your stomach. Yeah, just some easy carbs, a banana, some good electrolytes. Typically like a drink or a pre-workout that had some sodium, some potassium, something to make sure that you're well hydrated. But yeah, mainly protein source, quick carbs. Keep it pretty simple.
Yeah. High school, I would do, for sure football, I would make some eggs when I got home and I think some yogurt, maybe some fruit. I don't really know. Probably wasn't as structured for like basketball. I'm trying to think what I would have done for like a road game. Probably didn't. Maybe I brought some stuff for like after school, but it's not like snacks were provided or anything. So maybe I just ate lunch and then,
I always did like a
When I did my
ham and
best.
cheese or something like that.
yeah, I probably did. I don't know. I
don't know what
can't
else you
remember
do.
that far back.
It's got to stay good.
College, I mean, it would be like the calf breakfast or brunch, which was always fire. So
Yeah.
eggs, yogurt, chocolate milk, of course, staple of the diet back then. Some fruit.
Would you say it's more like it's easier to screw it up than it is to give you something that's going to give you a huge competitive advantage? I would
Yeah,
say
that's shout
is
out.
more of the process.
Yeah, shout out Wendy Earlbeck. Maybe get her on the pod sometime. But she would always say like your pregame meal really doesn't matter as much as you think it does. It's better to just do something familiar that your body reacts to well, just so you feel good.
Yeah.
It's more about the 24 hours before, just getting good carb sources and protein and make sure you're fueled. It's easy to overthink it, but yeah, honestly, it's more about, I don't know, just your general diet and what you're doing the day leading up to it rather than that pregame meal. Not overdoing it. Not underdoing it,
Yeah.
but yeah, mostly just familiar foods.
I think one thing too, like with cramping, and I think a lot of times we associate that with hydration, and that is true. But I think commonly that people don't understand how important your like actual nutrition, like the amount of food you're eating, and the relativity to that and cramping. Like I feel like a lot of it is because you're running out of nutrition, you're running out of fuel, like actual like nutrients or energy to fire your muscles, than it is simply just like water, right? Like that's why it's like that 24 hours is super important to eat it, the night before and the morning of, and if the game's later in the day, I have a basketball game I'm thinking of specifically, but it's important, man. Cramping's a lot of times due to food more than it is water, from my
For sure.
experience.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
a central nervous system thing too. I mean, if you're only exerting yourself on game day and you're not really putting in the work at practice, you're definitely more likely to
Yeah,
not be ready for when that fourth quarter comes, and then your central nervous system is shot, and it takes energy to relax your muscles just like it takes to contract. So sometimes your CNS is just
can't handle it.
overdone.
Yeah.
Shot.
Next.
Next question. What is one Bible verse that challenges you?
Mm.
Challenges you. That's a tough one.
I can go. I mean, I don't think for me, I can think of I guess, try to think of a verse while you guys are going or whatever. But I think one of the hardest things for me is like trying to explain some of the things that happened in the Old Testament, like just some of
Great.
the practices that certainly don't maybe correlate with the world we live in today and are hard to look at. I think some of that stuff, for someone that's been a Christian for my whole life, pretty much grew in a Christian home, right? And committed my life to Christ pretty early in my life. So like for me, those things, I guess, because of the environment I grew up in, were never really things that I pondered on specifically. I kind of just took it for what it was, understanding that Jesus coming kind of put to rest the Old Testament and the law, I guess. But still, some of those like questions and things you see can be hard to explain, I guess. So I guess that's something that challenges me. I don't think that I have a great enough understanding to explain some of that to people. Um, I would probably, in that situation, probably just defer that to another source or to somebody else to try to explain. Um, it doesn't mean that I believe in the entire Bible. I do believe in that. That's what I personally believe. I believe that you, it's all, the prophecies all come true. And you know what I mean? Like I believe in both of it. Before Christ and after, and that the importance that everything before Christ kind of points to Christ, and that was necessary and foreshadowed in this story. But that stuff's tough. I mean, can be tough. I think for, I don't know. Sometimes other people have asked me questions and I don't really have answers. So that, I don't know. You guys have anything?
I mean, an easy one would be Philippians 4:13, but I'm gonna go to 1 Corinthians 9:24, and it's the one that, do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. So I think we're all competitors and we all want to win, and we don't necessarily view faith as something we want to win, but we know like there's narrow gates into heaven, right? And I feel like we want to use our faith journey as something that is like a competition, treat it like something that we want to be the best at and want to continue to grow at, because I feel like we invest a lot of time and effort into work or school or whatever it may be, and I think you put the same time and effort into your faith journey and trying to win that race. I think it can be influential in your life, and I feel inspired and challenged because I do like that hits real life. Like I want to become a better runner, right? So like, am I putting the same time and effort into my faith and into my relationship with Christ to as I am trying to be a better runner improve my health. So I think it kind of challenges me in both aspects. So
I
yeah,
think mine is one of my more favorite verses, but I think it's because it is challenging. Romans 12:2, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's like, so that then you may know God's will, his perfect, pleasing will. I like the do not conform aspect. I think I don't know, it's just easy to value the things this world says is valuable, even if you do have faith and are a Christian. It's hard to, I don't know, I think it's like a daily process of that part of renewing your mind and what's important to you, what you are pursuing, what you're chasing, and not living to please other people, but living to serve God, and I don't know, being transformed that way. So I think that's a good challenge for every day. It's something I think no matter where you're at in your faith journey, you're always kind of fighting or in the back of your mind. Um, let's see. If you could only eat at one restaurant for the rest of your life,
Oh, wow.
what would it be?
My goodness. What's the first thing that come to your head?
mine's easy. I'd
Beat ups.
I'm in love with pizza. So like I'm always striving to find the
crazy.
next best wood-fired pizza. And if you follow Dave Portnoy and see his One Bite Pizza reviews, there's a lot of good pizza in New Haven, Connecticut. So I'm striving to get out to New Haven to try some of their pizza. But
Interesting.
right now, I don't know if I have. I mean, we go to Marquee Pizzeria. Shout out Marquee in Iowa City or Coralville, I guess. That's always a good one. $6
What's your
cheese.
go-to topping?
Well,
Topping.
they have a happy hour $6 cheese pizza, so that's like a deal of the century. So,
It's pretty sick.
but I would definitely be like a hot honey pepperoni.
Gas.
It's really good.
Yeah. Colin? Meetups?
Yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
love it. Well, it's like I always get the wings, parm garlic and buffalo dry rub wings, but their burgers are so good, and I never get them because the wings are that good. But I could alternate every other time with a burger with that cheese curd bacon burger or whatever.
yeah.
Alternate that with some wings.
Yeah.
I'd be just fine.
That's my, like, when I need, like, had a rough day or rough week and I just want to feel good or I'm trying to spoil myself. That's the one that I would go to. That's like, I don't know. Give me some, Buffalo Wild Wings.
If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be?
Holy cows.
Putting?
Oh.
That's not mine, but
Instantly master any skill.
what's cool?
Holy cows.
Does singing count? Like being a
That's
world-class singer?
that's a great one. That's always been mine.
Be so cool.
Yeah. For sure. Oh my
I think
goodness.
that's mine. Lock it in.
Locked it in. I don't know how I don't say, well, I mean putting, but like I don't know how I don't say like just being a absolute sniper at golf. Like just I don't know how that, but then is it still as fun? I don't know.
Right?
Genuinely
Because then
think.
you lose satisfaction because then it's so
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, because you gain that
Like
skill.
how good, but like to be a master at golf, you're still not perfect, right? Like,
Right.
you're not shooting an 18 necessarily because that
That's
would
kind of the nice thing about singing is you don't. Obviously, you have to like work at it a little bit, but I feel like it's more of a natural thing.
and you can keep
wouldn't
making new
lose.
songs and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
know.
And it always sounds insane.
like the best singers aren't the most popular necessarily. It's the ones with the most
Yeah.
catchy songs and the best collabs. And I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I don't know if
Flying is what came to my head immediately.
Flying a plane or flying like a
It was just
superhero?
flying, just being able to fly. It
That's a good
immediately
skill.
went to the superhero thought, but like that was what immediately came to my head. If I have to be honest,
That was one of the questions: is what your superpower would be.
mine would be just transportation. Mine would be just I would just love to be able to be anywhere in the world and snap a finger.
It's a good one.
Going back to the master one, I think I would do chef.
Okay,
Really?
that'd be pretty cool.
Something I use every day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to think about it.
Fire meals.
Just cooking up
With
everything.
ease.
That'd be pretty sick.
Superpower?
I always wanted to be the Human Torch growing up, so I think I picked the Human Torch's powers. Flame on.
I mean, I've always liked Tony Stark. I've always thought Iron Man was really cool, but his superpower is probably like intelligence, isn't it? Like, what's his superpower?
Wealth and intelligence.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
what I was thinking for skill too. I was thinking like I was trying to figure out. I was thinking how I can make more money with a skill.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But like then is that really?
I wouldn't
like,
be a chef.
the
I would
best
be. My skill would be wealthy enough to pay someone to cook for me all the time.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's what I was thinking. Well, because I was also thinking like typing. Like I get sick of like typing emails or whatever. Like if I could just like thoughts onto paper. That's like,
Well, that's coming, brother. AI,
yeah,
please.
please.
Jade, do you have a superhero answer?
Well, I was just talking about my favorite superheroes.
Intelligence.
I said Iron Man is
Oh,
probably
that's
one of my
right.
favorites, but I probably lean more to like somebody like Black Panther, like super fast, but also
You're white.
there's a strength component. I don't even know. How would you describe Black Panther's superpowers? Like, what does he all have? Like his suit is
Speed.
powerful.
I mean, it's like Captain America. It's just like superhuman.
Yeah.
Super speed, super strength.
I mean, Superman is the obvious answer if you want to be the most powerful. I feel like that guy can do anything.
I don't know if that qualifies.
I don't
I
need
think
to
you'd
do
have
any
to pick
superhero
superpower.
stuff. I just need to be anywhere in the world I want to be at that time. I want to
You're
see all the
saying
places.
one of his powers.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, probably fly.
I guess I don't know if mine qualifies then because I'm on fire and I can fly, but
I
and I
think
can
it
shoot
counts.
flames.
You just said it's all encompassing.
Yeah. What's the most painful workout you've ever done?
Actually, mine actually was like after my playing career. Ben and I, our family was in Mexico for a wedding, and Ben and I did like this curl workout where essentially like I do one, hand it to him, he does two, whatever, he hands it back to me, I do three, and it's I don't know, 21 or something like that, and then you go back down, and I hadn't done anything for a long time, especially anything like that. And when I think of that trip, I think about how my arms couldn't straighten and how painful it was for my biceps, like right above my elbow, for the entire trip. When I look at pictures, I couldn't straighten my arms. I couldn't play volleyball in the pool because my arms couldn't straighten. I complained about it the entire time. I've never felt soreness the way I did after that workout. And maybe it's just recency bias, but actually I can think of one more. Vander Sanden, not Luke Cady, I think is her name. Junior high track or some sort of workout. We did it on that track, and we did split squat jumps. And she was kind of new to our program. I had never done anything like that, and I did a ton of just split squat jumps, just jump switch, jump switch, jump switch, jump switch, jump switch, jump switch. Ruin, bro. Those are the two sorest I've ever been, ever. Biceps and my hamstrings and quads. I think it literally felt like rhabdo. It was terrible.
No, Doyle workouts come to mind?
There was one time I threw up over 10 times in a workout, but that's like a whole different type of pain. I'm thinking like physically, like how sore I was more after is kind of what comes to my mind. Like that was like a whole different type of pain. That was like, I shouldn't be doing this type of a thing. But I've like the ache, like the ache, like this is like, I'm sick almost. That was how I felt. Shout out
Can't
Katie
think of
Anderson.
Yeah, for real. I can't think of any with mine goes like hard during it. I can't think of any good like really sore ones. Mine one would be after Christmas break basketball practice. Jaden, I know you probably agree. I don't know if that was my junior or senior year, but I think it was senior year. Power party and some up backs. I don't remember what it.
2,
Some
4,
towel
6, 8,
pushes
10,
probably.
12. All the way back down. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Post Christmas workouts with the young were brutal. Shout out to him though.
Which is crazy because that's the best part about having Coach Johnson. We never ran. Ever
I had
ran.
2 years of both.
Never
Very
ran.
different.
Never, ever ran. He never ran
Loved
us. And it
Loved
was
them both,
awesome.
but very different styles. Let's see. I did a CrossFit workout with Todd once. It's like a partner workout. It was terrible. I remember one of them was basically you had a goal number of reps and you would just alternate as much needed to get it all done. One of them was like 200 body weight lunges, and I didn't think it was going to be bad, and it was horrible. That one I was definitely sore after. And then we had one with Finn Wyke in the summer. It was like quarters kind of to get ready for that. But instead of doing 4, I think we ended up doing like 5 or 6. And that made the actual quarters test very, very easy because that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Jane, what you got?
There's probably
Bloody nose
2.
squats.
Yeah, 2 at South Dakota State.
Oh, gosh.
Bloody nose squats were not fun. But that
That
was
was like continual beating.
But that was like the sets got pretty long. It was probably like 40 seconds to a minute of just like blood rushing to the head. But and then I'd be like CNS fatigue. I'd like lay down on the bench, put the towel over my head, and wait 3 or 4 minutes and have to do it again. But there's also like a stations kind of workout at SDSU that was bad in the spring. That was like 6 to 8 stations, like 2 to 3 minutes each, just going after it each station. Probably similar to like stations in basketball, Colin, but those 2 sucked. Nothing at Northwestern really sucked, especially because I was basically in season all the time.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my painful ones were all conditioning stuff because I wasn't in great cardiovascular shape, but nothing like your muscle soreness really outside of because like the squats wasn't really muscle pain. Really, it was just like it
You're
just
doing it
sucked,
so darn much.
right?
The Doyle one was like 3 sets of 12 on the Airdyne CrossFit bike.
Oh,
Ooh, some of those suck.
So you have to get to a certain number of, what would the metric be?
Watts.
For record watts. Yeah, right, or whatever. So like the faster you go, the sooner you get done. However much time on the minute you have left, you get to rest. And they made you pedal though. So it's not like rest, like you can get off the bike. You're still pedaling, which sucks because even on air, like even when you're not going, not easy. I finished like my eighth rep of the second set, and I basically told the guy that I told Ray, who is the head guy now, that I didn't have anything else. I couldn't do it. So basically, I didn't get any rest time for the rest of the reps. I couldn't do 6. It was 6 watts, I think. I couldn't do 6. I was doing it in like,
or is it calories?
it's kcals. It's kcals.
Calories.
It's kcals. It's kcals, and I think it was 6. And I think that I was doing it in like less than 15 seconds at the start. And by the end, I couldn't do it in a minute. But he made me do all of the kcals worth. So whatever, 6 times 12, I had to do it. And he didn't let me off.
So were you
And
supposed to go as fast as you could right away, or did you just go as fast as you could right away?
within reason.
Right.
Like I was within reason. I was going.
Gotcha.
Like when I say after that, like I died, like on it was obviously hell. I don't think I came back to for like multiple hours. Like multiple. That was that, and then there was a workout where I threw up over 10 times. Stations
Yeah.
where I whatever. Both those two, I had
There's
nothing.
some that, like the Wingate test, if you've ever done that. It's like a 30-second all-out bike. Or we basically did like a 30-second all-out echo bike to see who could get the most kcals. And at the feeling
Dude.
after both of those, like the lactic acid in your quads, like you cannot walk. It's crazy.
That's the last one I was gonna say. We did that at Elon. DeMarco had us do like an intern challenge at 60 seconds on the Aerodyne Max K Calves. That just absolutely killed me.
Death.
The feeling like 10 minutes after that is just terrible. Not fun.
You can't fix it. There's nothing you can do to feel better.
Time.
Yeah, literally
That's all it
time.
is.
Yeah.
What is
20 minutes.
one daily habit that has changed your mindset?
You got anything?
Mindset. I'd say just like moving throughout the day, like walking during the day. Instead of doing just like a longer walk, I like to do like 10-minute walks throughout the day. Obviously, it's nicer when it's warm outside. You can just do it outside, but walking pad works as well. So I just like, sometimes I'll listen to a podcast, but other times it's just 10 minutes to block out the noise and get some benefits just from moving your body a little bit, but also just the silence and kind of like meditating a little bit. So I'd say that's what's been helpful for me.
I'd say mine is this happened a couple months ago. I was answering emails and I had it down to like 15 or something like that. And I was kind of just chilling. And Blake looked over my shoulder. He goes like, well, what do you have left in your inbox? Like any other issues that I can help with or whatever? I was like, I got it down to like 15. And he's like, why are you celebrating that? Like he was kind of being sarcastic, but kind of being like, well, then just get it to 0. You know what I mean? And then also I left Ben on red the other day and he got upset at me. And so the combination of those two, like now I'm dead set on my email and my text inbox being 0. I'm freaking like I'm over, like and I've just been trying to do it really good lately. Like I'm trying to get that to 0. Like I'm still not perfect at it, but getting your email and your text inbox to 0 is a mindset changer. I'm telling you, it's a mindset changer. You don't spend time thinking about those things that you need to respond to. Like if you can respond to it, get it out of the way. That's my daily habit as of the last couple months that I'm still working on. That has been an absolute game changer. If anything happened or you ever see me, everybody I got back to, right? And there's something that like feels good about that. So shout out to Blake and Ben for holding me accountable for that. That's been a game changer for my mindset.
Did you see there's a video at the Super Bowl, like asking guys how many messages they had on their phones, like 1,000, 1,500 for a lot of them. There's only a few who it was like 5 or less. It's crazy.
That's
Anxiety.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm not exposing him, but like James was that way at Arena. His like 900 some, and it just made me want to I like quivered, you know? So it's been a changer for the mindset for sure. It's allowed me to work out and sauna, just peace throughout the day. I'm not That stuff takes more of your thoughts than you think. It just does.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I'd probably say just trying to have one good sweat a day, whether that's working out or sauna. Like we've been saunaing more, so getting that in on days that I don't have a more intense workout. I think just both with like filtration and just the positive benefits that exercise has for the mind and the benefits I've seen with like sleep. I think just one good sweat, just
Love it.
get the gunk out, get things flowing. Doesn't even have to be hard. You can sit in a sauna and just let the sweat flow.
I like that
But
one.
yeah, I think there's just something to getting your sympathetic system going, getting the blood flow into the brain, getting the heart pumping, and then doing the opposite after, getting the parasympathetic, getting the rest, doing some breath work after, and just letting the body do its thing. But yeah, I think our bodies are so wired on a 24-day cycle. I think just having one good sweat a day is super beneficial.
It's a good one.
Love that.
I feel like you get better at sweating probably too.
And
Like,
it's
oh, here it
super
goes.
important.
Yeah.
Your body can de-learn how to sweat. It's just
Yeah.
not good.
Not good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sweating is a great thing.
Yeah.
What's the worst loss you've ever taken in anything?
Oh, my worst loss was freaking Andrew Van Ginkel. Freaking
The
junior
compartment
year
syndrome game?
compartment syndrome game, Rock
That was
Valley.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah, it was.
Painful.
That sucked. That was a bad one. That one pissed me off.
What
was a
round
hot-
was that?
We had one more to go to state, and I don't know that we would have won, but you don't know. I mean, we were good, so. But that one hurt. That one hurt.
Mine's probably semifinals, senior year football. I just felt like I had a lot riding on that game and wanted to fulfill the family state championship legacy, and felt like I would have put myself in a better position to like get a scholarship to Iowa. And yeah, just felt like there was quite a bit riding on that game and didn't go as we planned, but it's probably up there.
It's life. I can't think of any more painful than same last high school football game. Mine was Western Christian Snow Bowl at their place. We got them in the regular season, but they got us postseason.
That game sucked. My hands were so
game.
cold.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I fumbled the snap that game. That was pretty
not
costly.
not a fun game to be a quarterback. I
No.
enjoyed playing in the snow, but cold weather, snow, not fun for a quarterback.
Nope.
But yeah, that was devastating for sure. If you could live in any fictional world, where would you go?
Oh my gosh. You know what my first thought was? You remember the episode of Fairly Odd Parents and what was the other show when they did a combo show?
Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, sure.
Jimmy Neutron. Yes.
Yeah.
The mix of that world, that's my answer.
The specific mix. That's where you want to be.
That was crazy
That's
when they
hilarious.
swapped the shows. That was
They did that with The Sweet Life on Deck with Hannah Montana and the Wizards of Waverly Place. I want to be on that ship, man.
Jimmy Neutron. Yes. Nice shout out, Jay.
Yeah. Don't know where that came from, but
I don't either. I could not.
deep-
I thought it was going to
deep
come to
in
me, and
there.
I could not bring it out.
That's hilarious. That's where your mind went. Mine was
Still a kid.
Star Wars, probably number 1. I would definitely be a Jedi in that universe, or probably Harry Potter would be the other one. I think I'd enjoy both of those.
yeah, check out Avatar. See what that's
Oh,
like.
nice.
That was the first one that came to
Airbender
mind.
or
Oh, good
blue
question.
creature?
Ooh, I was thinking creature, not Airbender, but Airbender would be pretty cool.
Airbender would be
It's
sick.
one of the greatest shows of all time.
It really is. Like, not just like anime or animated, but
No,
any
it's
show ever.
great. Literally ever. Good question. Wow.
Um, what's one health myth people need to stop believing?
Oh my gosh.
Myth.
This maybe doesn't answer the question. I'm just the thing that came to my head. I wish that chiropractors and regular practicers, PTs, whatever, I wish that world would kind of do this a little bit more. Because chiropractors are a little, I don't know what's the right word.
I don't know what you're looking for.
I feel like they don't really work together that much all the time. I feel like you either think chiropractors are good or you're in the PT world. I feel like they don't really combine that much. I'd love to see. Maybe that's a bad answer. I don't really
I
have the
feel like
words to
it's more
describe it.
like
I know, but I'm trying
common
to.
thoughts. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
know. It's just a
No,
thought that I have. I
that's a
would
good thing to
love
bring up.
chiropractic school is like one whole thing, and then if you're not in chiropractic school, you don't probably look into any of the chiropractic. I've had a lot of benefit from chiropractic stuff, and I know people have had bad experiences. I think I feel there's some benefits.
I think that's just sports medicine in general, just different sectors. People like
Yeah,
to butt heads based on, even within sectors, like within the strength coach industry, there's people who butt heads, but there's
yeah,
also across different industries. So it would be nice if people, I don't know, we talked about it with Cole, but just value your expertise in one thing. But if you don't know the answer to something, then go to another expert, or I don't know, just be willing to work with people with different backgrounds and skills.
yeah. Sorry, not a good answer, but just a
No,
thought.
that's where the brain went.
Yep.
Fairly Odd Parents and
Yeah. And
chiropractors.
chiropractors and PTs.
I love it. Mine, especially working with female athletes a lot, there's just always a negative stigma with
Good
protein
one.
that always bothered me. I don't know. I feel like with TikTok, there's a lot of like, I don't know, negative stigmas, or like there would always be maybe like a period where they would gain weight unintentionally, and they would attribute it to protein, which I don't know, maybe it plays a factor, but I feel like there's just so many studies I've seen that like you can eat a crazy amount and still lose weight. Like I don't know, there's some pretty crazy studies that I've seen, and
Good one.
I feel like there's the benefits far outweigh I don't think there is any negatives, honestly. But yeah, that was something that was always hard to deal with, and I don't think I ever really figured out the messaging of that, or like I don't know. There's just people have different experiences, and sometimes there's negative stigma with things. But just for what I've seen, protein's just the goat, man. I don't care who you are, it's just the goat.
By you, Jay.
I'd probably be similar category. I think there's still like negative stigma a bit behind like red meat and like saturated fat being bad for you, and like eggs with cholesterol. I just think there's like common nutrition things that have been around for a long time, and people like haven't questioned the integrity or like the studies and who's funding the studies, and actually like seen like true nutritional like outcomes. So I think those two are the biggest that come to mind, and also kind of just thinking a calorie is a calorie, and that's going to be the same. Like you could eat 1,500 calories worth of donuts and still lose weight and still be healthy. Like I think there's something to eating actually good foods and having nutrient dense foods. So I understand that people like to think calories in, calories out, and just it's easy, but I would prefer to check all the boxes of vitamins and minerals and feel good and not just look at weight. I think looking at weight is not great. I think you should judge how you feel a lot more than the number on the scale.
All right, last one.
Last one. I better pick a good one. If you could time travel, would you go to the past or the future? And if it's the past, what specific time? Or specific time in the future?
I would go. Oh gosh, I would go back, and I wouldn't go back that far. I think I would just want to be born like maybe 10 years earlier.
Before technology and stuff?
Yeah.
Or more advanced technology?
I feel like the onset of technology was like when I was in like middle school. I would have loved to have been at the beginning of the onset of technology when I was maybe college or just coming out of college or something like that. So maybe born in 1980 or maybe born in 75, 80, something like that. Oh, I feel like maybe when there was a little less technology, that would have been kind of nice for a little bit. I feel like everybody knows everything about everybody now, and I don't know if I really care for that world.
It's fair.
Also, like putting people in place, you know? I feel like things used to get handled a little differently when you had a little dispute with somebody. I think the world could use a little bit of that.
I like it. I love like history, like wars and stuff. So like there'd be events that'd be cool to go back to, but actually living during those times would totally suck. Can you imagine being in a war? Like
No.
no trenches, just Revolutionary War on grass, just running at other people and
No.
shooting on flat ground. No thanks. So if I could be a silent observer just in a time machine for a little bit, or maybe meet some like historical figures, yeah. But if I actually had to go and like live, I'd probably just go in the future. Maybe like 50 years.
Be born
Check it
50
out.
years from now, or like in your prime 50 years from now?
We'll say born in 2040.
Okay. Interesting. That would be interesting. It would be fascinating. Jaden?
As much as it'd be cool to like experience like Spartans or the Roman Empire or like when Christ was doing miracles and stuff, I think the future would be really cool. Partly because I'm curious what we invent, and like I feel like travel is gonna be a lot easier. Like see what new inventions come about. I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of cool things coming to like revolutionize like what's gonna be the next computer or phone or plane. Like so I'd probably go like 100 or 150 years. See some crazy stuff.
Wow.
I don't know. Robots might be ruling the world by then.
I don't know. Be a different world.
No doubt. All right, gentlemen.
Anything else?
Nope.
It's been fun.
That was good.
Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Off the cuff.
See what
I like that. That was fun.
See what the old Chat GPT. We did Chat GPT. Maybe we'll ask Claude next time or some other AI source and figure it out. Maybe just get a fourth permanent co-host, some AI chatbot.
It's Jay Grizz.
Jay Grizz, yeah. Shout out
Jay Grizz. Fantasy footballers.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get that guest on another time. I don't know if that'll be the next one or the one after, but it's going to be a great one.
Yeah.
But if you've made it this far, shout out to you. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Learn something more about
Comment
it,
some of your
hopefully.
answers.
Yeah.
Love to hear.
Yeah, for sure. All right, boys. Till next time. Thanks for listening to the show. If you enjoyed today's episode, leave a rating, review, or tell a friend to check us out. Be sure to follow us at SHRP_training for more content to help you be your best self. Go be great today.